Ethan Reyes never expected his life to shrink into a pocket-sized routine, morning school lunches, double shifts, and wiping down marble floors long after everyone else had gone home. But as a single dad, he had learned to survive on exhaustion and love alone. Tonight, though, exhaustion was winning. It was almost midnight when the top-floor elevator dinged open. Ethan pushed his cart out, humming softly to keep himself awake, when a voice, shaken, breathless, cut through the silence. "Please, wait." He turned. And froze. Ava Lockhart. CEO of Lockhart Innovations. A woman whose heels cost more than his monthly rent, and whose confidence normally filled every hallway she walked into. But tonight, she looked nothing like the woman he'd seen on magazine covers. Her mascara was smudged, her breathing uneven, and her trembling hands clutched her phone like it had betrayed her. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked carefully. She swallowed hard, eyes glistening. "Not even close." Before he could respond, footsteps echoed from the conference room behind her, deep voices, impatient, mocking. She flinched. Ethan's fatherly instincts kicked in. "What's happening?" She glanced at the approaching footsteps, then at him. Desperation flashed across her face. Then she said the strangest sentence he'd ever heard. "Just for 7 minutes, act like you love me." Ethan blinked. "Ma'am? Please." Her voice cracked. "It's stupid, but I need to get out of here without them thinking I'm alone. They're potential investors. They think a female CEO is too soft to run a company unless she has a strong man behind her." Her jaw tightened in shame. "I didn't realize they expected my fiancé to join us tonight." "Fiancé?" Ethan repeated. "He left me last month." She gave a shaky smile. "I didn't bother correcting the rumor." The footsteps grew closer. She stepped toward him, her voice barely above a whisper. "I just need 7 minutes. Then I'll never bother you again." And without waiting for an answer, she grabbed his hand. Ethan hadn't been touched like that in years. A moment later, the investors rounded the corner. Ava straightened, sliding an arm around Ethan's waist. "This is him," she announced. "My fiancé." The men blinked in surprise. Ethan felt their gazes sweep over him, his worn-out janitor uniform, his calloused hands, but Ava squeezed his side. He understood the signal. So he played along. He wrapped a gentle arm around her shoulders, pulling her close. Her breath hitched. "Long night, honey?" Ethan asked softly, acting. But when she looked up at him, something flickered behind her eyes, relief, gratitude, maybe even pain. "Yes," she whispered. "But better now." One of the investors smirked. "Well, he certainly looks dependable." Ava's fingers curled around Ethan's. "He's the reason I do any of this," she said, voice steady. "He keeps me grounded. Reminds me what matters." Ethan swallowed. She wasn't acting anymore. The investors muttered excuses and left, annoyed they couldn't bully her tonight. The elevator doors closed behind them. Silence. Ava exhaled shakily. Her body sagged just a little, like she'd been holding her breath for weeks. "You saved me," she murmured. Ethan shook his head. "You saved yourself. I just stood here." Her eyes softened. "You didn't have to." He offered a gentle smile. "Everyone deserves someone in their corner. Even CEOs." Ava blinked rapidly, fighting tears. "Why are you so kind?" He shrugged. "My daughter says kindness is free. She's 9. Smarter than me." That made her laugh, really laugh, for the first time that night. The sound warmed the entire hallway. Then the elevator chimed again. She stepped inside but held the door. "Can I repay you somehow?" Ethan thought about overdue bills, rent, repairs he couldn't afford. But those 7 minutes? They weren't about money. Just take care of yourself, he said. And don't let anyone make you feel small. Her eyes shone. No one's ever said that to me. The doors began to close. He lifted a hand. Good night, Ms. Lockhart. But at the last second, she hit the emergency stop. The doors bounced open. And she walked back toward him. Slowly. Softly. With a look he hadn't seen in years, hope. Ethan, she whispered. Yes? Those 7 minutes, she swallowed. They were the safest I've felt in a long time. He said nothing. He couldn't. She gave a shaky smile. I don't know what comes next, she said, but I'd like to buy you coffee tomorrow. Not as a CEO. As someone who hasn't stopped thinking about the man who treated her like a human being when she felt completely alone. Ethan's heart thudded. Maybe kindness wasn't free after all. Maybe it was an investment, one that returned in the most unexpected ways. He nodded slowly. I'd like that. Ava reached for his hand again. This time, he didn't let go. Ending message, uplifting conclusion. Sometimes the smallest moments, 7 minutes of courage, 7 minutes of kindness, can change the course of 2 lives. Because compassion doesn't need a title, a suit, or a perfect life. Sometimes all it needs is a tired janitor. And a CEO who finally lets herself be human.